Okay, good morning. Bows and bow ties. It's 5:34 a.m. Oh, geez. I gotta stop that. Okay. Sorry about that. So, look, I just want to talk about a few things. Okay. The first thing I want to talk about is I have been scaring myself because I feel like I am like when I forget things. And so I'm like, does this mean dementia? And I had to do a little bit of reading and they talk about like premenopause, brain fog, that type of thing. Because I was like forgetting names of people. I was just like this weekend, my whole family called me out because I have seen my son throw away utensils before, right? And I'm like, where are all of our utensils? And then apparently I was doing something and I went to go take my plate and put it up and I threw my fork out. I don't know why I threw my fork out. And now my husband was like leaning in on me, like, oh my gosh, Rena, oh, the real culprit. I'm like, no, I'm not the real culprit all the time, just this one time. But the point I'm making is this is like, it's been stressing me out that I'm like, why do I forget names and like things that I would normally remember? I'd be like, oh, you know this person's name. It is really scary. And I'm like, I don't know how to fix it, but I'm like, fix it, Jesus. That's number one. This getting over 40 thing, for the last couple of weeks, okay, let's try this again, getting over 40 thing. I'm well over 40. I'm 48, right? So, like, my lower back hurts me every day. It's been the last few weeks, and I can't figure out what I did. So now my husband and I were talking about getting rid of our mattress. I mean, like, it hurts to, like, bend over and, like, I have a whole routine in the morning. I have, like, my skin routine, body routine, etc., right? And I don't like when my routine is messed up. Like, I know it sounds so simple and crazy, more than you guys want to know TMI, but like when you're done showering, you come out and you got to dry your face with the one towel and dry your body with another towel, the whole 9 yards. And when you're drying off, I like to get pretty good and dry so that I just like for my body cream or whatever I use in my body to go on. Like, I don't like for it to feel too lotiony. I don't know what it is. I don't like that feeling. So I like for my butt, but if it hurts for me to bend over, okay, I can't. I don't know. Like, I can't lotion up the way I want, and it was driving me crazy because my lower back was hurting so much. So when I go all the way down to my feet, I like to spend time getting on my feet. So now I'm rushing through the feet lotioning process, and I hope my feet don't look like I've been cooking flour, like I'm freaking Casper. Okay? I like to be fully moisturized. So yeah, I'm on a struggle bus with this being over 40 thing, pushing 50. Like, my back hurts. I can't remember stuff. It's just like the whole 9 yards, and it's driving me crazy. It is driving me crazy. Anyway, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Oh, one last thing. I wanted to take my braids out this weekend, but my back was backing. So I was like, I can't. Like, I just need to just not. So now I'm walking around here like I'm looking psycho, okay? Because I couldn't do the self care I wanted. I know, first world problems. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to these podcast weirdos. I don't want to say they're new, but we have new weirdos, ladies and gentlemen. We have some new ones. And no, it's not the men who look like me. It's those who are, and this, I hate having to go through a whole bunch of qualifiers, but I have seen over the last year or so this rise in Asian podcasters saying some shenanigans about people who like me. And over the last week or so, it's been crazy. I just saw, okay, so I'm not sure if many of you are aware of this, but there's this one Asian podcast. I had never heard of them. Her name was Esther, and she was from Under the Influence, UTI, which is a weird name for a podcast. Or she was on there, or I don't know. I've never even heard of that. But that had been surfacing over and over how she was totally dehumanizing women who look like me, talking about the badge, and you know what I mean, and what she thinks the size of it is based off of the type of men in the community, and like it was just like so. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to repeat Look, you've got already people dehumanizing us as it is, sexualizing us as it is, right? But then on top of that, there was another one where like this former housewife was asking Cynthia about like black people and their hair growing. For those of you who remember Cynthia from Real Housewives of Atlanta, they showed a clip of Crystal from she's no longer on Beverly Hills asking people like, does your hair grow like your wig, and like some ignorant kind of stuff. And I'm sitting here thinking like, you know how many people are wearing hair extensions and hair wigs all the time? Black people grow a whole lot of hair. The problem is if they're trying to keep up with standards that are not meant for them, it's going to totally damage their hair. But the fact that she was asking these kinds of, it's just like on and on and on, a whole bunch of that. Like I'm sitting. Look, those of you in the Asian community, and I know that the community is quite diverse. I would be careful of leaning into your pick me era, because just like you thought that there would be more opportunities for Ivy League entrance or admissions, you saw what happened when you wanted to dismantle certain things that were put in place, and you know what I mean, right? And now you're seeing firsthand what happens when you decide, yeah, I want to dismantle affirmative action or whatever it is, right? When you engage in certain activities, let me tell you something. You can be a pawn. You're a pawn to be used. You are not playing chess, you're playing checkers. I want to make it clear. You need to be careful of trying to denigrate a group of people. I think it was a year ago, I remember seeing something coming across my feed where you had this Asian woman talking about telling everybody about beauty standards and don't line your lips or whatever when everybody lines your lips. Now, I'm not a big lip liner or anything like that, but like she was going after people who look like me. And I'm like, why is it that there's this vested interest in constantly trying to so-called punch down? I don't understand this. We already get it from the whacked out weirdos who look like us, right? Like they don't even realize that they are being used as a pawn. So they think they're winning and they're not. But now I'm seeing this other group of podcast people trying to, and I don't know if there is like some looming threat of something. Maybe they feel like they're being threatened, or some, I don't know what it is. So maybe they're like, well, we got to like recheck these checks. I don't know what's going on. Probably because I don't invest a whole lot of cycles in trying to figure that sort of thing out. But it is kind of weird. It's just really weird. So I would caution for those of you who are in the community, be careful about the kind of rhetoric you're putting out there. Be careful, because all you're going to do is continue to highlight yourself more, and you think that you're winning and you're not. You're going to be used in a sophisticated pawn game. All right, so I want to move on to football. My Giants just suck so much. I mean, like the suckosity of the suckness is just, and it's like a race to the bottom between them and the Cowboys. At this point, I know this is going to sound bad, but I just feel like don't even win another game. I want all of the draft picks. I just want them all. Like at least 16 in the first round. Can we get 16 first round draft picks? How many draft picks are there in the first round? I don't even know. But can we get them all? Like it's literally at this point a race to the bottom. I don't know who's doing worse. Maybe the Panthers? Are they Jacksonville? I don't know. Are they the same as us? I mean, at this point, it's just a race to the bottom. I hope the Cowboys win another game so that they stay at least 2 games ahead of us. But I just want to make it clear. The Giants are just a horrible team. Like, it is tough. Excuse me. You know, I walk around with my Giants lanyard, which still like cracks me up when people say, "Oh, you're a bandwagon fan." I'm like, of a really bad team. Why would I pick a team where the suckosity is so real to be like a fan of? It's just so weird. Anyway, the Giants are bad. They're just a bad team. But I had to listen to my family get their hee-haws at my expense watching Saquon Barkley in the Eagles game, because you know my husband's an Eagles fan. one of my children is a Ravens fan, I think, but the rest are all Eagles fans. And I had to watch Saquon Barkley, practically do back handsprings and acrobatics on the field yesterday, which I'm not mad that he went to the Eagles. I mean, like, it is what it is. I'm not anti Saquon Barkley, but I had to definitely hear about, like, man, he saved our season. What were you guys thinking? I'm like, we weren't. The Giants it's just bad. The Yankees imploded in game 5. I'm like, New York is going down bad. New York Liberty won their championship, which was somewhat controversial in that last game, but I'm glad they won. I mean, like, New York is going down bad. And I'm from New Jersey, but I'm from this side that's closer to New York. Nevertheless, I'm just over New York Giants. That's all I've got. I don't think I should even talk anymore because it's just disaster. But yeah, once again, I just want to say to podcasters who think it's okay to get out here and try to punch down on Black women, be careful. You're going to become nothing more than a cautionary tale. All right.